Godātie mediju pārstāvji, sākam preses konferenci.
Dear representatives of mass media, we start now the press conference following the COSAC meeting attended by Mr. Rinkevich, Madam Lolita Chigane, and Ostap Semerek, First Deputy Chairman of the Committee of European Integration of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine. So the working languages are both Latvian and English, and please do use the mics for the simultaneous interpretation. Dear journalists, thank you for your interest. Thank you for showing interest and coming to our press conference. I would like to apologize for a short delay because we had a very active and very constructive discussion debate during our meeting. This was the first meeting that is hosted by the Latvian presidency in scope of its parliamentary dimension. We today received the chairman of all the European affairs committees from all the member states, as well as some candidate countries candidate countries. We just concluded a very constructive, very diverse debate on the Eastern Partnership, and it was also attended by our Ukrainian colleague, who is the Deputy Chairman of the Committee on European Integration from Ukraine, and our Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Rinkevich, also participated. We would like to now open the floor for questions regarding our meeting and the conclusions that we adopted during today's meeting. Thank you. So the floor is open for questions, and Mr. Minister has to leave us in a couple of minutes, so please go on with your questions, but please do use the microphone. You will have to speak Latvian because we'll have the translation, but what is his working language? Well, it's English. He will listen to the English interpretation and will respond in English. You can ask in English as well.
Translator, so I'll ask my question in English.
The question will be
what conclusions have you come to about the latest events in Ukraine, which is that military combat is continuing in several areas, that there's the ceasefire, such as it existed, has fallen apart. The attempts at having peace talks have fallen apart. I mean, the only rational way to describe what's going on in Ukraine is that there is a medium, if not high-intensity war going on, World War II style, with bombardments of areas by both sides. What did you conclude? What do you recommend doing? And you have Mr. Rinkevich here, who, again, to use military terminology, is the point man of the European Union on these matters. What do you recommend that he do?
Thank you very much. First of all, I just want to say that today's meeting was absolutely important for us and for Ukrainian society, and today we adopted a statement supporting and with solidarity to Ukrainian citizens. So thank you very much for this statement and this support of my country. Answering your question, I just want to say that unfortunately we do not have fulfillment of Minsk protocol. You know that the base of this protocol was a peaceful plan proposed by President Poroshenko, and 2 days ago there was the second round of Minsk meeting. Unfortunately, representatives of terrorist organizations, LNR and DLNR so-called, were not ready to discuss prepared plan of stopping fire. Unfortunately, we do not have any reaction from Russian side as one of the fourth side of Minsk protocol. And for today, we are trying to keep this line of splitting the fire, and that's not easy because terrorists are trying to attack. God's thanks, we are successful in keeping this, but it costs us a lot of soldiers, unfortunately, and peaceful people. And if I may, my position is that we have to do all the best to localize this conflict. That is the first task, and then to stop fire regime in this region and around border. The second point of what to do, we have to agree to control all the borders between Ukraine and Russian Federation, especially in the zone where LNR and DNR, I mean Lugansk and Donetsk region, is, and to fix what goods and what is crossing this border between Ukraine and Russian Federation. Then, very important is to fulfill our plan of reforms, and I'm fully understand that the best answer to terrorists and to Putin is successful reformed Ukraine. We do all our best. We established the first package of reforms that is based on association agreement that we signed and ratified, and I want to say that in preparing for this plan, we have good support from European Union and EU countries. And after fulfilling these reforms, I think that this conflict will be solved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Semerek. Indeed, during the COSAC chairs meeting, all the participants agreed that Europe needs to continue speaking in one voice regarding what's happening in Ukraine, and we are very happy that we managed to come to a consensus during this meeting. As has been said already, we adopted a joint statement, and this joint statement will be soon circulated among journalists after not long after the press conference. Dear journalists, are there any other questions you would like to ask? Arnon Seklons from the Latvian newspaper.
For the guest from the Ukraine, how you evaluate the situation in support of Ukraine from the European Union? As you know, there are different countries in the European Union, and their relation moods with Russia are different. Could you see a united Europe speaking in support of Ukraine?
Thank you. You are absolutely right that is very important to see the unity of EU, and we really see this unity. We have different instruments of support from EU, and Eastern Partnership Program is one of that, and we today discussed the future, and we discussed our plans for the next Riga summit, and even after that discussions that is in EU, I just want to underline that is very important to increase the level of participation of EU in solving conflict on the eastern Ukraine, and Ukraine is preferring to come back into the format of Geneva. That means that EU, US, Russia and Ukraine should talk, because last negotiation in Minsk shows us that doesn't work. Minsk format, I mean, and we expect that it will be accepted, I mean, Geneva format, and I hope till the next Riga summit we will be with the good news telling you about success in solving this conflict.
Very quickly to add, you know that the slogan of European Union is unity through difference. And I think that even if we sometimes have internal deliberations, very often exaggerated too much, in media we still have been able to manage to come to policies of as we have discussed also today, both engagement and also containment. And I do believe that we need to look in our next Foreign Affairs Councils in a ways how we can best assist to Ukraine, also from practical point of view. I also believe, and I have said it repeatedly, that there should be the place at the table of negotiations for the European Union. The Normandy format currently doesn't have one. Well, we also would see the Geneva format would be the appropriate one, but let's not also exclude any other possibility of any other engagement of EU in different formats. But I do believe that also from political point of view, EU can do a little bit more intensive work, and here I think that High Representative Federica Mogherini has put the discussion on January 19th as well as last Thursday at Foreign Affairs Council meetings on the right track. And I think that what we have seen, the decisions from both councils are the right ones, but we still have to do more and we should work a little bit more actively. As I said again, unity is through difference, but at the end of the day it's unity.
Jā, un varbūt no savas puses es varu piebilst, ka ļoti daudzu parlamentāriešu runātāju runā šodien.
I can only add, a lot of parliamentarians from other EU member states have clearly said today that we can't punish the Ukrainians for choosing, the closer integration with the EU, and they have reconfirmed their willingness to be a part of Europe time and time again, and Europe must respond in a similar fashion, must support the Ukrainian efforts for closer integration in Europe. Are there any other questions? Liva Rachberger from the Latvian television, I have the question to the Foreign Affairs Minister on the Eastern Partnership. What's your opinion? What's your take on the Eastern Partnership program, considering the conflict in Ukraine and considering that southern countries have entirely different interests regarding cooperation with partners of the EU? And what would be the first steps that would be made following the Riga summit? Well, today during our meeting we already agreed that Riga summit must be the venue or the place or the event at which the Eastern Partnership and our neighbourhood policy is discussed, and especially our relations with southern neighbours. So we need to review our neighbourhood policy. At the moment, the European Commission, together with the Foreign Service, has started a review of the neighbourhood policy in a way. As regards to first steps, we'll be ready to announce those following the Riga summit or during the Riga summit. I do expect this Riga summit to make further steps or make progress with regard to Eastern Partnership, and should continue also making progress or making some ground with regard to our southern neighbours. If we want to have an efficient EU neighbourhood policy towards south as well as east, we must sort of bring both under the same umbrella. I mean, we can't be pulling the blanket our way, and we can't let our southern member states be pulling, the rope in their direction. I mean, we need to bring both regions under the same umbrella, both challenges under the same policy instrument. We see what is happening southwards, we see what's happening in Ukraine and how it threatens not only our region but also the EU as a whole. But we very well understand our southern neighbours, terrorism, migration, terrorism in Syria and other countries are very essential. So we need to sort of keep a balance of some sort. Policy-wise, neighbourhood policy-wise. There are still 4 months to go till Riga summit. There's a lot of discussions to take place. We'll have informal Foreign Affairs Council here in Riga in March, and then we'll have another meeting in March where we will approve the guidelines or the draft Eastern Partnership and neighbourhood policy. If we choose to have an individual approach to each and every country, and if we give a strong signal during the Riga summit that the EU is interested in continuing Eastern Partnership will continue. But there is, a framework within which we have to fit all these policies, which are the core values of the EU, and we would like all 6 Eastern Partnership countries to share those values, but they have different plans as well. They have different policies and different economic ambitions as well. However, we need to make sure that we not only make nice statements during the Riga summit, but also arrive at, tangible decisions and tangible results. We should give green light to stronger cooperation with countries that are favouring stronger integration in Europe, and we should sign free trade agreement with those countries as well. Some 3 countries out of 6 are struggling with meeting the European standards. Nevertheless, we need to assist them on the introduction of their standards. I'm, however, certain that the Eastern Partnership Programme will continue, but it will have to be modified in future. Thank you. I would like to thank the mass media. Unfortunately, we have to let our Foreign Affairs Minister to go on his duties. However, thank you for your interest and looking forward to see you at the other events. Thank you all.